Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rusty 78609. It's Beer 30 RV Talk. What are we going to talk about? I'll tell you what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about prices of RVs. That's what we're going to talk about. If I can get my note here, I make notes and then I can't remember where I put them. You understand? Have you ever done that? I'm sure you have. But anyway, I just got out of the shower and I have on a clean Gildan V-neck t-shirt. Just thought I'd brag a little bit. But having said that, moving right along, guys, who, including myself, would have ever thought that in buying an RV would be an appreciating asset as opposed to a depreciating asset? Now, I know it doesn't apply to every type and all that stuff, but it applies to a lot of them now. I have to tell you that because I've been checking. And what I've found is, of course, everybody knows about the Casita. I've got a 2019 Casita Freedom Deluxe that I paid like $20,000 for. And now that same RV with setup like mine is like $25,000. You understand? In 2 years, you know, that's a 40% increase? Yeah, right. No, that right? 25% increase. 25% increase. 2 years. And also, moving right along, the Class C that I bought from Motorhome Specialist, I've had it on order for one month? Oh, a month and a half. And it was $59,999. Well, let's say $60,000, okay? That same RV today is $64,000 or $63,999. You got me? So that is a 7% increase approximately over what it was 45 days ago. And also, compared to what it was 2 years ago, that same RV, the Four Winds, was $49,999 or $50,000. So that's a 23% increase somewhere in there. You know what I mean? Who would have ever thought? And the used market is off the wall. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, and as I just mentioned, my Casita, you know, more than I paid for it. Who ever heard of that? Well, you know, amazingly, you know, I bought that Coachman Clipper Cadet 16-footer, the 2000 and what was it? 16, 17, 18, 2018, I think it was. Yeah, but it was a 16-footer. I paid like $9,500 for it, you know, and I sold it for the same thing. I thought, well, hell, that's impossible. Well, guess what, folks? It ain't. And guess what's happening in the used car market? I'm not saying all, certain cars, particularly pickups, the prices are going up. The used market prices are going up. You know, my truck, let's see, a year ago, I got a trade-in quote. It was like $11,200, top dollar they would give me. Now it's $15,500. Went up $4,000. A year and a half later, it goes up $5,000. But anyway, so what I'm saying is, things are changing, guys. I mean, I'm using the old logic, like, you know, you buy an RV and you can expect it to depreciate real quick. That ain't happening. No. Why? Well, there's probably a lot of reasons. Obviously, you know, it's supply and demand. I know that's a big factor. That is the only factor, really. And so the supply is here and demand is up here, and it's going up. And, you know, what's causing the increase in demand? Well, obviously, you know, there's a number of younger people, middle-aged, that are not retired, that are choosing the RV way of life, or van dwelling, or whatever they choose. Excuse me while I stick this up my nose. People love that. But anyway, but the reason, you know, they're able to make a living out on the road, you know, they've got internet access now, you know, in most places. Now, a lot of places they don't. Well, guess what's fixing to happen in the next 1 year, 12 months? Starlink will be covering the whole United States, but it's just for internet, but it's, you know, super fast or very fast enough to do anything you want to do online. And of course, what does that do to cell phone service? Well, a hell of a lot. because what people will start doing is, they'll do Wi-Fi calls or whatever you call it over the internet, and video calls and all that stuff. So you'll have full access to the whole world using the Starlink Elon Musk thing. For they say it's going to be around $80 a month, and I believe that's probably correct. And that range would be very profitable for them because when you start, initially they got to cover all their R&D, research and development, all that stuff. But once that's covered, man, and that's chump change. It's going to happen like that, and you start getting hundreds of millions of subscribers at $80 a month, plus the military stuff that they're doing and all that. Man, but what that does, I mean, rural areas like where I live in Llano, Texas, where internet access, it's okay, but if you had the Starlink stuff, the property around here would go through the ceiling. I'm telling you, if you're a real estate investor, start investing in Brewster County, out Terlingua and all that stuff. Why? Because within a year, or at least in that range, they're going to have total access. As long as they've got power, they got it. And you can get solar power? Will it work? Sure, yeah, you can convert solar power to 110, and no problem with that. Get you an inverter. So you see where all this is going, guys, and it's going quick. So, for those of you like me, historically, I'm 75, I'm still thinking of 1950, 1960. That's gone. And I hadn't even taken time out for a swallow of beer. That's pretty serious, isn't it? Here's to you, here's to me. Should we ever disagree? Here's to me. But anyway, there's all kind of things changing, and you got to get on board or get run over. You know what I mean? Here's something else. The Federal Reserve now is working on digitizing the dollar, which basically means cryptocurrency, so to speak. And it's happening. It's all these changes are coming, man, and it's happening like light speed. You know what I mean? And something else, I used to make fun of this, not make fun of, but I didn't understand it, and I still don't. It's called LBG questioning something. All this different thing about sex. You're not a male or a female. You're this or that, folks. I thought that was bananas. It ain't. Because that's where we're headed. I mean, that is the new direction for not only this country, but the whole freaking world. Because I will mention this. I watched a video of Elon Musk, about Elon Musk's wife, her history and background, and very interesting, very intelligent woman. And of course Elon, this girl just had a baby recently. And anyway, I think C is the symbol for light speed or something in physics, but be that as it may, she's raising that child to be basically sexually free. In other words, the child is just going to be what it's going to be. There's not going to be any male tendencies or female tendencies put upon that child, and that's apparently happening throughout the world. Now, whether you agree with it or not doesn't matter. It doesn't matter 5 cents. But you can see that is so foreign to my thinking. It'd be like he's talking about going to Mars and doing all this, building a community on Mars. Hell, I live on Mars now. Shit. I mean, what happened to Earth? I mean, geez, beam me down. I mean, the hell with that going up. Jeez. But see, the reason I'm doing this video is because I want to, but and beer's good. But it's just a beer 30 day, you know what I mean? Oh, here's something happened today. And this is something that, every now and then somebody does something that starts the ball off the mountain, so to speak. Today I was sitting outside and I was reading a book. It was about, 10 o'clock, 10:30 in the morning. A nice day. I was reading Somerset Maugham short stories. And anyway, I noticed the gang that plays on the golf course next to the RV park where I live. I'm 75, and I play golf every now and then, not very often. But anyway, there's a group of old guys I used to play with, and I see them every now and then. And so there was a group that was over on a hole 2 holes away, and I could see them. I was watching them through the binoculars, so I got up and walked over the fence to the golf course, and one of them spotted me and turned his cart and drove over and said, "Hey man, why don't you just ride along with us? You don't have to play, you can ride along in my cart." Hell of a generous offer. But I mean, it was just a very thoughtful thing to do. I mean, I thought, hell, that's great. So I did. I rode along in the cart, and it's some guys I used to play golf with years ago at a place called Inks Lake. And it's just the old Inks Lake group. They're all old folks. But 2 of them are in their maybe early 60s and mid, probably early. And then one is my age, and the rest of them are my age. But be that as it may, it was a threesome. I sat in the cart and made 4, but I wasn't playing. But anyway, yeah, it was nice to ride with them. And while we're riding along there, I suggested when we were walking up to the tee box, or they were, and I was behind them. I said, guys, if y'all could put together a group of the old gang from the Inks Lake golf course, I would love to play anytime. Just you put it together. So anyway, they're working on that. Because see, the pairings are done at the clubhouse by the quote pro or whoever's there, and with a little clout, you can get things done like that. Because I used to do pairings when I ran a golf course years ago, and I know that people make requests. So I know that doesn't have a damn thing to do with RVing, but it has to do with living, and I'm trying to live the best life I can. So anyway, they're trying to put together something for Thursday, so there'll be kind of that same group plus me and maybe one other guy, and yeah. Anyway, I just got out of the shower too. I'm so pretty. Anyway, but it's been a good day. It's funny if you just let a day happen. Let a flower bloom. The day does the same thing. Particularly for me, as I've gotten older, and years ago I had to go to the bloom, like go to work. But now I let the bloom kind of come to me, even though I may have a general plan. But yeah, it's crazy how things happen. See, like I was sitting there reading a book and I was enjoying myself, and then I saw them, got talking to them. Next thing you know, I'm riding in the cart. I rode for 5 holes, and yeah, it was really neat, man. Then they dropped me off right here on number 16. It was just, and it's only 50 yards to my RV, and it was just really nice. But guys, things are changing. For all you guys that are my age or near or young, within 15 years either way, you might as well just take your thinking and pull it out and throw it in the trash. It's gone. It's over. You know what I mean? Forget it. Get into texting and get into whatever, I mean, you don't have to change your whole lifestyle, but you have to change mentally. You don't have to agree with it. Just don't let it frustrate you. Don't be complaining about it or let it upset you, because that's the new direction. And you just have to climb on board the train, because it's going, man. It's always been that way. I mean, I look at the changes, that my parents went through in the 60s, the hippies and all that crap. That was like, geez, these kids are doing what? And so we're up to that again, or at least I am. But having said that, guys, 2 things I wanted to cover. One was RV prices, guys. Who would have ever thought that you could buy an RV, keep it for a couple of years and sell it for a profit, as in more than you paid for it? Jeez. And it's not only the Casita guys, there's others out there. And as far as, the Class C, you can't even find, they don't even have a Class C on the parking lot at some of these places. You know what I mean? You have to, everyone that I looked at on the internet knew the type I ordered. Says sale pending, that means it's been ordered, okay? And that's really changed. And for them to go up $4,000, fine with me, guys. That covers all my taxes and fees if I ever want to sell it. And I have to tell you this, I feel like in a few years I may sell that thing for a profit. Isn't that weird? I mean, not that I care. I mean, I want to enjoy the unit for what it is. Like I want to enjoy life for what, you notice I did the ear thing? I don't know what that means. It means nothing. But having said that, guys, for those of you that are watching this near Beer 30 for you, I'm going to post this tomorrow. Today's Monday. I'll post it Tuesday around lunchtime or a little after. But if you happen to be in an area where it's kind of Beer 30 for you, here's to me. Gildan. $2 a piece if you buy them in quantities like 4, 6, or 8. They're just a comfortable t-shirt. Why do I wear V-neck t-shirts? I have no clue. My mother used to buy me V-neck t-shirts. Why? I do not know. And ever since then, I've been buying V-neck t-shirts. You know, it's just like I still use Hunt's ketchup when I can find it, you know. And yeah, you get branded, so to speak, when you're a kid. You see, I'm doing this stuff, the italics, is that? You see, that's something I never heard. When I was a kid, growing up, if somebody did this, there was something wrong with their hands, you understand? But now, when somebody's talking to you, they go, and you, oh yeah, you got it, that's in italics. Anyway, having said that, guys, ladies and gentlemen, RVing is changing just as quickly as everything else in the world. And, you know, it doesn't matter. Never mind, I won't get into that. But what I'm saying is don't let all this stuff happening right now get in your head, because if you don't have any control over it, it don't matter shit anyway. So having said that, guys, I'm going to enjoy my beer in my evening. Adios. Oh, just a minute. Thumbs up, carpe diem, adios, bye-bye, buy anything you want anytime. But if you think about it, use the Amazon link in the description of all of my videos. Why? Because Amazon takes care of me, and it doesn't cost you a penny. See, that's, you like that? It got a little flavor, doesn't it? But anyway, what else? Drink plenty of water, you know, 3 or 4 quarts a day, stretch, you know, walk, all that stuff, exercise your body. You know, take care of yourself, take care of your health. Stand guard at the door of your mind, you know what I mean? Use your titanium cranium to keep out negativity. And what else? Accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, and live your life one day or one moment at a time. You know what I mean? Live like kind of now, you know. You know, I realize you got plans for next week, next year, next all, but you know, you got to get down to now sooner or later, you know. But having said that, guys, hasta luego, vaya con Dios, aloha, bye-bye. Until next time, carry on.